Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be in your presence. Oh my goodness, I actually cringed as I was coming up with this title because I was thinking back to my childhood days living in Taiwan. I actually loved the weather. I wanted to be a weather report person. I drew maps, right? I cut out little circles, put it on those maps to track summer typhoons. Fast forward to present day, though. This is a typical Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I'm about to hop on an important client meeting on Microsoft Teams or Zoom. I have this, nice shirt on, lower body, doesn't matter. Let's not talk about that. People are trickling in. We're waiting for the right stakeholders to be on, so we have quorum so we can get to the important topic of the day. Some people are on camera. Most of them are not. Some are muted. Some are not. You can clearly tell people are multitasking. There's dogs barking, kids running around. Oh my goodness. And there's just this awkward tension. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, I want to break this. How do I break this? So I'm going to go for it. I saw this guy from Chicago and I said, hey, Jeff, how's the weather today in Chicago? And I could hear him typing, it's not cold anymore. It's, spring. Yeah, it's great. And I'm like, damn, what do I say to that? It's paradise in the Bay Area? And people started trickling in, the weather in Colorado and Miami, New York. But the irony is, I don't care. Right? I really couldn't care less about the weather, right? But that is what's going on, right? That's what I've been accustomed to when I see these people on these calls, in person, virtual. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And this is the socially acceptable way of mindless chatter that we're all accustomed to now. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a little bit scary. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out ChatGPT, generative AI, what does that mean for the world? And I'm turning into a robot myself. This is not good, right? Until one instance where this could no longer continue. This was a few years ago. Around May, June timeframe, my mother-in-law unfortunately had gotten cancer, and it was to a very difficult part of her body to treat, and the medical team basically, said we can't do anything, and she left us pretty soon after the initial diagnosis. They sent her home to hospice, and this was around 4th of July, and my son was almost 1 at a time. So I had a lot of thoughts going through my head, emotions, the grief, but also a lot of gratitude. Grateful that, she was able to spend, the first year of his life, together. So I said my proper goodbyes, and she passed on the 4th of July, so 4th of July has a new meaning for my family these days. But 2 days after that, I had an important work trip to Bangkok, Thailand. And I had already made a commitment to participating. It was, very important. But I wanted to make sure my wife was okay. I checked in on her. I actually got her blessing. She said, you made this commitment. I want you to go so you can fulfill your promise. But flying halfway around the world, again, a lot of emotions through my head, right? The grief, how am I going to, when will be a good time to tell my son about grandma, all of those things. I got to Bangkok. Saw some of the partners that I was working with, my colleagues, said hello, and instead of asking about, the weather or how was your trip, I basically told them straight up, this is exactly what I'm dealing with. Something terrible has happened in my family. This is what I'm going through, all my emotions. And immediately I felt the blinders sort of come down, right? We were not just focusing on the next client meeting, the set of KPIs we needed to meet. Right? And that was such an lightning bolt, light bulb moment for me. Because then my colleagues started talking about their journey and how they could relate taking care of elderly parents. And we were bonding right then and there, halfway around the world in Thailand. So now, as the introduction probably said, I'm in this large company that is Accenture, 760,000 people. I challenge myself every day, as a humble leader in this large company, to not talk about the weather, to be more human. And we all see that. And I'm seeing that now. It's not just a large enterprise problem. In startups, too. I'm working with a startup, Everyone is, going at 1,000 miles per hour. The perks are good. But I talked to one of my contacts, and I knew he had little kids. And on one of the calls, I basically just asked him, how are you doing? How are the kids? And he said, Benny, I've been here 4+ years at this startup. The culture's great. Everyone's great. Nobody has ever asked me this question. Another sort of light bulb moment for me. So that's really my message here, right? Let's all be more human, right? I think you're seeing that from some of these common threads here. Let's all be more human. The legendary coach, John R. Wooden, has an axiom, make each day your masterpiece. So let's all take it upon ourselves. As we go about painting our beautiful canvas every day, let's all lead with authenticity and purpose. And let's not talk about the weather. Thank you very much.